All right, we've got a special guest here. This is Mark Dwyer from Hudson Bay Capital. Mark, how's it going?
Great, thanks for having me here.
What brings you to the conference?
Well, the emergence of blockchain, digital assets, and AI all in one place on the beautiful Gold Coast. How could you not come?
The beautiful Gold Coast with the grey skies right now, as I was saying to the folks before, but we go a little bit, not way back, but we go back because we work in the AI space together. And I think it's interesting with blockchain, and there's been some talks about how blockchain and AI come together. What have been some of the interesting things that you've seen, whether from the AI or the blockchain space, about just the technology?
I actually just had a really interesting conversation with a doctor that's transitioning from emergency medicine into general practice.
Oh, right.
And he's actually truly passionate about solving the healthcare inefficiencies using blockchain technology. And
There's a lot.
That's a tremendous opportunity, especially when we look at federally funded healthcare ecosystems like we have here in Australia, NHS in the UK, the Canadian healthcare system.
Yep.
The wave of demand that's coming at healthcare, we can't hire enough, train enough healthcare professionals to take care of our population, an aging population. He was saying something like within the next 15 years, over 30% of the population here in Australia is going to be over 65.
That is crazy.
And if we look at just the spending, so we say, all right, we'll throw more money at healthcare.
Yeah.
The cost of healthcare is going to outweigh the growth of our GDP. So we can't throw enough money at it. We can't train enough people. So what do? We have to use really smart technology to remove the administrative burden of delivering federally funded healthcare.
It's the only way, and we're here at a technology and emerging technology kind of conference. It was interesting to see that, people in the room were talking about, not specifically for healthcare, a lot more on finance, real estate, bonds, securities and stuff, but about how AI and blockchain can come together. Now, we worked in the AI space more around like knowledge management, but we had something unique to the way that we saw things. We put blockchain into that. Do you want to tell the good people what our thoughts were on that we've been building?
Absolutely. I think everyone that's watching this has probably used GPT or some sort of language model, and if you haven't, you should very much do that. We looked at the challenges 2 years ago with the adoption of generative AI and said, hey, there's no auditability or traceability within a language model today. And the challenge with that is, especially if you're a regulated organization, financial institution, healthcare, for example, you need to be able to prove where a decision was made from, who made that decision, what that data set was that was used to make a decision that hopefully brings a good outcome, but it may have brought a bad outcome. So we need to be able to have an auditability trace on that. So what we did with Psych.ai was we built a blockchain component in there using zero-knowledge proofs, so we can say, hey, the human has been a part of this workflow, this process, and we're going to create a micro-signature on this workflow, which creates an immutable record that sits on a blockchain that we can call on at any time to see what the data source was, who pressed the button, who was a part of that flow, and what the output.
And it can't be tampered with, not like a log file on a database. So there's more of these ways that blockchain helps AI that people are going to start learning from. And it's a pretty exciting kind of time, I think. I think that there's a lot of exciting stuff that we don't even know yet, and we're the ones that are building all the frontier kind of tech. What do you think you have as messages for people that are either interested in investing in the space or they're interested in getting involved in the space? Where do you suggest that they start looking and stuff like that?
Yeah, great question. Okay, so we've hit blockchain, we've hit AI, let's hit crypto. So crypto or digital assets broadly, I think crypto comes with a negative marketing connotation. If we look at digital assets, we're starting to see huge institutions or tens of millions of dollars into investing into digital assets. Now, whether you've got your own self-managed super fund, whether you're a retail investor, whatever the case is. If you're a fund manager or advisor, you can no longer discount digital assets
Exactly.
as a asset class opportunity.
Yep.
Like if we look at how, and this is really simple, if we look at how Bitcoin and the S&P 500 have tracked over the last 5 years,
Correlated, pretty correlated.
pretty awesome to see what's happening there.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to hit an inflection point real soon on the adoption of digital assets from an institutional standpoint. So we'll start to see super funds, we'll start to see larger and traditional financial institutions invest in a big way into digital assets because it can no longer be ignored. And I think if you, even as a retail investor, don't have a digital asset a portion of your portfolio to digital assets, you're missing out on a tremendous opportunity.
Agreed. Well, Mark, thank you so much for your insights. We'll see you for the rest of the conference.
Okay.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.